Good evening. Good evening, guys. Here we are back again. Another live stream. This has obviously been the main big headline for the past 2 days now. All the stuff now with Russell Brand. So I was wanting to get into that stuff tonight, specifically when it with the that Dispatches documentary that was on last night on Channel 4. I didn't watch it. I watched it all. And not often, with programs, do you have that thing of, oh, gotta watch this? Just so much different now with everything, with YouTube and all that. But I was like saying to myself, gotta watch this. And, overall, I mean, it just, it didn't look good. Didn't look good. Um, so overall, there's four men, and there's accusations of sexual assault, rape, emotional abuse from 2006 to 2013. So I'm going to get into this stuff. I'm going to get into each of the accusations. No bad, Cara, no bad. How's yourself? Good to see you. But I'm just, so I will get into all this stuff then. I'm just going to put the link out on Twitter first. We'll get the numbers up a little bit. Uh, Maureen, you made it. Good to see you, Maureen. You're not well. Oh no. What's up, Cara? What's wrong? Right. So that's the link sent out on YouTube. So this has been it's obviously been a very hot topic past few days. Um, so I'm going to get into that. I mean, overall, as I say, it doesn't look good. Everybody have their opinion, or they'll say, I don't think it's true, or no, I think it did happen. I feel personally that I think that maybe all or almost all of these allegations are true. I'm just going to say it right off the bat. I do believe that this to be true. Now I don't claim that I was ever a Russell Brand fan, but I would watch some of his videos here and there. He's this, I don't know how you call it, almost like a spiritual guru type. Very gets gets into the stuff with politics, specifically with US politics. Has been interviewing a lot of people, probably people are more to the right or more these, anti-establishment types. And so yeah, he has changed a lot, obviously, from the time from when he first became famous. And it was, Russell Brand, it was the big hair, it was the womanizer. But and these allegations obviously are from around that time when he had that image, and he did. And it's funny from when these allegations stopped from 2013. It was around that time he started to change. That's when he became like this whole. Oh, he's wanting to lead a revolution. Remember that? It was that whole thing on that interview that he did with what was it, Jeremy Paxman at the time. Um, but yes, I'm going to get into all this though. But right. So you've got the vid, Cara. What exactly? What is that? Sorry, I don't. Is my camera froze? Can you guys see me okay? Right. Because I'll start getting into this, right? So, um, right. So with the timeline then of the accusations against Brand. So first off, there was the one 2006. So a woman claimed Brand sexually assaulted her during a 3-month relationship in 2006 when she was 16 and still at school. Brand, this at this time he was 30 years old, was a radio presenter and a host of the Big Brother's Big Mouth. She said that they first met when Brand approached her in Leicester Square after she'd been shopping, and proceeded to go through her shopping bags and would critique her purchases. She said he took out a dress and said, "You're going to wear this on our date next week." She claims she told her mother, who advised her to text Brand and tell him her age, but that he was undeterred and on the day asked her to confirm she was 16. Right. So first off, you might think, well, would even back then, would Russell Brand have been bold enough to, approach a girl who is obviously, if she's 16, must be very young looking. But then again, girls that are 16 could, with big long hair, heavy makeup, can pass off like they're 2021. I mean, she said in the documentary, didn't she, Dispatches, that that she was very young looking, though. It wasn't this thing of, oh, she was 16, but she looked much older. That's what she said. That seems obviously a very bold thing he would do. Leicester Square, he's at this point he's already a famous guy, but it is a little bit different in London. You can walk past people. People don't bother you as much in London because there's so many people in London. It's a little bit different when you're famous being in London. But the woman said that over the following weeks, Brand referred to her, and this is a bit this is very creepy here. Brand referred to her as the child. Yeah, because she said, didn't she, that she was he had asked if she had how many people she had sex with, and she was, but at that point she was a virgin, right? She alleged that he was controlling, sexually and emotionally abusive. She said he had sent her a car to her secondary school to take her out of lessons. Gee, does this not remind you of a certain somebody? And I will get to that. So he sent her a car to secondary school, take her out of lessons, and asked her to save his name as Carly in her phone to deceive her parents. He also allegedly gave her scripts on how to lie to her parents and advised her to hide the relationship from her friends, describing the experience as isolating. The woman and family member described Brand's behavior to the Sunday Times as grooming. And I believe they have got that proof there, didn't they? Was it the text that Brand sent the girl that was from his number as well, right? But this stuff, though, I mean, the stuff about, sending a car to school, giving her scripts on how to lie to her parents, does this not sound a little bit like R. Kelly like behavior? That's the guy that comes to my mind right away when I read this stuff. The only thing is that I don't know if there's going to be anything there when it comes to underage accusations there with Russell Brand, like, or R. Kelly, because most of R. Kelly's accusations, it was like girls that were they were maybe 14, 15. He had a thing for women that were, it was always a thing with him about being underage girls, right? But evening, Lanny, how are you? Randall Grant in the book. Grooming it in its finest. Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely, it's 100% grooming. Yeah. Yep, that's true. Aaliyah. Yeah. Crazy how he got away with it for all that amount of time, though. Just madness. Russell Saville. Gee whiz. Yeah. We don't know. I mean, he still did his comedy show last night, though, right? And is he not got another one coming up on Tuesday? I don't know how many people would boycott it, or all these people that are going are total diehard fans that they all believe he's innocent. But yeah. So go to the next allegation. So there's a Jordan Martin. She alleges Brand sexually assaulted her and was physically and emotionally abusive towards her during a 6-month relationship from February 2007. She claims he assaulted her at the Lowry Hotel in Manchester, and he became angry after finding out she had spoken to an ex-boyfriend and ripped her phone case apart to pull out the battery. Yeah, so this is one thing. There's another story out there, isn't there, that Brand, didn't he like hook up with a prostitute or something, and then like he basically was talking about how, well, it wasn't really the sex wasn't that good, and what he did in retaliation was he smashed her phone. He broke her phone, and then he was making a joke about, oh, this prostitute had to go by the hotel lobby crying and whatever. And he was talking about these things, bragging about this. And this, I don't know, it may have been about maybe around 2008, 9 time, but he's bragging about these things, and no one's saying shit. He got away with this shit for so long though, and because of just, I guess, his charming persona, everyone kind of let him off the hook, but yeah. So you ripped her phone case apart to pull out ripped the phone case apart to pull out the battery before touching her sexually. She said she was not ready for this intrusion and did not find it pleasant. Martin made the allegation in a book that was published in 2014. She declined to be interviewed by the investigative reporters, but she told the Sunday Times she stood by her account. Brand denies all the allegations made by the Sunday Times, but he's never challenged the content of the book. Right. Interesting. And then it gets on to the next one. This isn't till 2012, though. 2 standing ovations. Yeah, I saw that, Maureen. I saw that. Yeah, they were lapping it up, weren't they? The people that were there. Yeah, well, there is a lot of people that think R. Kelly's innocent, though, right? Just because they love the music so much, Lenny. And I mean, truthfully, I was a big fan of his music also, but I'm not gonna just let that slide. But and truthfully, Lenny, it's a lot of the black community that want to believe he's innocent, right? Not all of them, but it's the same kind of thing with Bill Cosby as well, eh? Hey, Scandal, what's up? He never sued or anything to refute the book. Yeah, exactly, Maureen. Yeah. Like Jimmy Savile, wacky clothes, shouting over the interviewers, arrogant, pompous, aloof. Yeah, exactly. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck and quacks. And I think overall, from his personality, it's like you get that vibe off of him, even like from the early days, especially. You're kind of like being forced to tolerate him. You know what I mean? He's pushing people's personal boundaries from the way he acts. And I think he's got away with it for so long. I mean, he's had to change up his ways, obviously, because he's now doing this he's very political, spiritual guru type, anti-establishment. But you have to be honest with yourself. Is a guy with this success and the fame, being in Hollywood movies alongside Tom Cruise, is this guy really anti-establishment? I mean, you got to be honest with yourself, Ladies are all black. I mean, the women that are defending him. Yeah, some women defend him who are black, and then some guys can be black and defend R. Kelly as well. I mean, there's one guy that's was in prison with R. Kelly for a while, and he got out, and he's actually talking about him and doing these podcast interviews, Lenny, and he's kind of like defending him, saying he's a good guy and stuff like that. I know what you mean about the Jimmy Savile thing, though. And again, that was another thing with that stuff that was being said on BBC Radio. I mean, imagine that being said today. It would never be said today. You'd be done. But back then, you could, this is 16, 17 years ago, you could get away with that. So go to 2012 now. So a woman alleges that Brand raped her against the wall at his Los Angeles home in July 2012 after she refused to join him in sexual activity with a friend of Brand's. I believe, is this the woman? No, sorry, I'll continue. She alleges that she told Brand to get off of her and that she wanted to leave, but he carried on and briefly blocked the door to prevent her from leaving afterwards. She told the Sunday Times that she was treated at a rape center, a treatment center, the same day. Had a therapy treatment there for 5 months. Records seen by the Sunday Times show that she contemplated the records seen, this is by Sunday Times, show that she did contemplate criminal or civil proceedings, but ultimately decided against it. This is, so many people that say, oh, why didn't they go to the police, this, that, the other, and And come on. But anyway, though, after the incident, Brand sent her text messages apologizing for what happened, describing his behavior as crazy and selfish. And some people can put that down to maybe something else, that he was just maybe being a dick and, getting angry. But anyway, though, so the same month, Brand's divorce from the singer Katy Perry was finalized. And then we get on to 2013. A woman who told the Sunday Times she had met Brand at an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting before they had started working together claims he sexually assaulted her at his home in Los Angeles. She alleges he tried to kiss her and remove her clothes as he pinned her down, and she shouted at him to stop. I was screaming, "What are you doing? Stop, please, you're my friend." She claims he eventually relented, but he flipped, shouting at her, saying she was fired. She claims that years later she spoke to someone who had been working on a project with Brand and was outside the house at the time of the incident. He allegedly apologized for not helping her and said, "I heard you screaming, and we were also scared of him." Brand allegedly threatened the woman later on with legal action if she told anyone about her allegation, and said she never formally reported him because she feared it would affect her career. So there you go. Russell Brand anti-establishment. Yeah, obviously he wasn't, was he? Always gave me the creeps like Savile did. I was shocked about Harris. I used to watch his art show when young. Glitter made me feel sick when we found out about him. Yeah. Yeah, it was just amazing. There was maybe just a very, like, an art of, I don't know, with Russell Brand, but for some reason he was always able to get away with it, right? I mean, there's this whole interview that was resurfaced about Danny Minogue, that Danny Minogue did, and she called him basically a vile predator. This was back in maybe 2006 time. But she was saying something along the lines of he would always be able to cross that line, but never far enough to the point where you'd be able to slap him across the face. But yeah. Well, possibly he could go to jail. The police are allegedly saying that they're encouraging people to come forward to them. So maybe. So now, 2020. The woman who claims she was sexually assaulted by Brand during a 3-month relationship when she was 16 contacted his literary agent at the time, who was also the co-founder of the talent agency Tavistock Wood. She said a lawyer representing Brand contacted her denying the allegations and claiming she was looking for money. A statement given to the PA news agency by Tavistock Woods said Russell Brand categorically and vehemently denied the allegation made in 2020, but we now believe we were horribly misled by him. So this is very interesting, what they're saying here, horribly misled by him. TW has terminated all professional ties with Brand. So this is another thing, because remember this whole thing about being horribly misled? Is this not the same kind of wording that the agency that Philip Schofield was with, they came out with? That he had misled the agency, misled his lawyers. This is quite alarming right here. And then it goes here. So yesterday, a joint investigation by the Times, Sunday Times, and Channel 4 Dispatches is published, detailing all the allegations made against Brand. And then obviously, you do this right of reply thing before you do these like investigative things exposing people. I think it's always 48 hours they get like of a warning. And then Brand came out on his YouTube channel, and then he denied all the allegations. Brand is boasted about loads of sexual conquest. He was hanging out with Noel Gallagher, Bobby Gillespie from Primal Scream. Yeah. He has all these celebrity friends, right? Maybe just something happened, though, that maybe it was around 2013 time you realized I've got to watch, because there's other people out there as well that, who let's say he's allegedly assaulted, right? Because it was around 2013 time that he started to change. and then it was this whole thing about wanting to start a revolution and all this stuff, and people are smart, people can, I even say this with Dan Wooten. Dan Wooten needed to change up his ways, and that's why he went from the Sun to the GBUs, because he was aware of all the stuff that could come out about him, all the stuff with the allegations. And it could be the same kind of thing with Russell Brand. I mean, people are smart, they can really know how to change up their ways, and people can pivot, they're sharp like that. Turn dark and abuse them like dirt. Starts off with Loverboy Method as the Tape Brothers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true, Lanny. I mean, I would watch some of his videos here and there just to see what him and his guests would talk about, but I was never a huge follower of him, though. And he went from very, like, taking the mick out of, like, Fox News and people on the right, like Trump, around maybe 2016 time, and all of a sudden he's doing these right-wing videos. He's doing this stuff that's pro-Trump. It was just very transparent. And I found that a little bit weird, And he had a bit of a verbal back and forth with Trump at one point, and then all of a sudden he's now buddy buddies pictured with Trump's son. Well, stuff like that I find rather questionable. But why did Channel 4 decide to go after him now? Well, some people are saying that it's because of the whole stuff about him questioning the stuff with the pandemic, and calling out the pharmaceutical companies and stuff like that. That maybe there's an agenda there. Yep, I agree with you, Cara. There, arrogant Jesus, self-appointed. Yeah, because of like he was such a sleaze in those early years, right? So why would he feel that he'd be the right person to start a revolution, lead a revolution? I don't get that. That seems very odd. I'm sure they're no dummies, Maureen. No doubt they would have done that. Maybe Rogan's the same. Joe Rogan's a bit like that as well. Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, I was just see these articles on the Guardian. Not that I'm a huge fan of the Guardian, but people saying, so many red flags ignored for so long. Yep, I would agree. Saying that the allegations themselves are disturbing enough. Being able to see and hear the words spoken, even by anonymized interviewees filmed in silhouette, or in one case replaced by an actor, leads every awful detail alleging a Pearson immediacy. Surrounding the interviews are the words of Brand himself on stage, on TV, and radio. Even in the best case scenario for Brand, the one in which all these specific independent accusations turn out to be false, we view him as a sleazy sexist creep because he has told us. But he's very much changed his persona, though, to be this spiritual guru at one with the universe. That so many people would have forgotten these early days when he's on that show, Big Brother's Big Mouth, acting like a big gimp. The big hair, saying all these inappropriate stuff to women. A lot of people would have forgotten about those times. Well, Elon's got his own agenda, Lanny. He has his own agenda. He's another one to look out for. Legal chess, yeah, I would say that. This guy's got a lot of clout, though, and he obviously knows how to intimidate people. He's been able to intimidate them enough into not going to the police, you know. Oh, you blocked Russell Brand on Twitter, Maureen. Yeah, just reading from what the guy's saying here on what he's saying on it was a Guardian. The title in plain sight has been carefully chosen. Yep, plain sight. Yeah, no doubt. Dispatches has found further evidence of Brand not hiding his misogyny. Drawn from the same stint as a Radio 2 presenter, that led to his biggest previous controversy in 2008 when he was fired for broadcasting crass voicemails. He left for the actor Andrew Sachs. Now, there was a controversy there that they took action. They dropped him from the radio show. Jonathan Ross was dropped from BBC and then went to ITV. You know, it wasn't like, it was like a slap on the wrist, though. You know, it's a little bit different from how things would be today. Someone would be totally done. Agency would drop them. They wouldn't be able to get any more work. A little bit different how the backlash was back then as to how it would probably be now. And then there was that interview as well that he did with Jimmy Savile as well. That was very weird. He's basically Brand was offering up his personal assistant to him. There was a comedian by the name of Daniel Sloss. He was on Dispatches as well, saying Brand's not the only comedian whose alleged behavior is often described as an open secret in the industry. Kirsty Gallagher tweeted a support text for her brother-in-law, Brand, and then quickly deleted it. Maybe, Lanny. You never know. I think, is she not pregnant right now? His wife? I think Russell Brand's wife's pregnant right now. One moment. Andrew Tate called it a Matrix attack. Yeah. Thing with Russell Brand. Yeah. Blaming the mainstream. Are you saying Russell Brand got a divorce payout? Was that after the marriage fell apart with Katy Perry? He got a payout. But yeah, it's all Russell Brand right now. Everything on the Daily Mail, it's all a Russell Brand. Russell Brand was blasted by furious Sir Rod Stewart for boasting he had a go on Paul Icon's daughter Kimberly. Oh, he got a payout for that. I thought it would have been the other way around. So he basically ended it by text message. Then he's the one that gets a payout. Wow. So the woman that claims she was raped by Russell Brand in 2012, there was a letter to him she wrote, "You completely broke me down." She said, "You know what you put me through, my body through? My emotions and body are turned upside down. You scared the shit out of me on July the 1st. I thought in any situation I'd be strong enough to fight someone, but it's someone when it's someone you know you don't expect to be put in that position. You completely broke me down." Okay. Bram will try and play the victim. Next year we go into rehab. Imagine having 3 kids with this sicko. People can pivot. That's the thing. People can change up their ways. He'll be out as gay. He's maybe had a homosexual encounter or two, but Nothing wrong with that, obviously, but he just obviously comes off as a very hypersexual type of guy. Danny Masterton, well, he's screwed, is he? He's was that 4-year jail sentence? Yeah, fucking hell. And then was it Ashton Kutcher tried to write a character? Was it a character reference for him or? So the woman, yeah, 2012, alleged Brand raped her with a condom. Once he had finished, she pushed him away and ran over to the door. She said that Brand blocked the doorway to stop her from leaving and told her to calm down. She said he eventually moved out of the way when she asked to go to the bathroom. So something here about 2013, 2014, Brand was pitched as a host for Channel 4 show. Solution to concerns about behavior to take female crew off show. So I don't know. I guess nothing came of this show. Is that and this is same time, right? He started to change his ways. He became more political. Was did that interview with Paxman. He was even on Question Time. I think him and Boris had a bit of a back and forth, bit of a ding dong. Maybe him and Piers Morgan as well. There was a bit of a back and forth there, him and Nigel Farage. Because all of a sudden he did seem to change his ways and become very political all of a sudden, which she said, when a girl says no, it means no. Do I have to go and get myself tested? Okay. Brand replied he was very sorry. You don't need to get tested. Just checking though, these text messages, I wonder if these are the ones where they definitely can confirm it was sent from his phone though. Because it was on the documentary last night, wasn't it? When it came up, they could confirm that these Brand had sent text messages to the women who'd accused him. That came up a couple of times, didn't it? Are you okay? I wonder how long he'll go not doing a YouTube video for though, Brand. So you get Bob Geldof called him a CUNT. Danny Minogue labeled him a vile predator who wouldn't take no for an answer. Yeah, and there's something weird there about with the whole thing with Katy Perry, when she was saying about the real truth about she said it was locked in her safe for a rainy day. It's like, what the hell was that all about? People were saying that when they broke up, Katy Perry was at a song called "Born Again." People thought it was in relation to the divorce. People should be looking at famous people that are suspicion, particularly comedians, actors, musicians, lots of sickos. Yeah, absolutely. Katy Perry earned a whopping 44 million during their time together. Russell, who was legally allowed 50% of that decide to walk away with nothing. Oh, wow. So I imagine she was making a bit more money than he was, right? I mean, he still would have been making pretty good money if he's in a film alongside Tom Cruise, though. But wow, yeah, we're not about misinformation here, Cara. Yeah, maybe something like that, Maureen. Yeah, maybe something like that. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, Du-du. I suppose it benefited probably one another. It was a mutually advantageous thing. I mean, you have to check out a video, Lanny. It was if you look up Russell Brand, Katy Perry red carpet interview, there was this weird thing there with. I don't think she was playing ball, Katy Perry, like the interview. The way you're supposed to answer these questions, you got to play the game, and then opens up this thing. It simply says obey, and as soon as she sees that, her demeanor just totally changes. Very very strange. So I take it who's on here. You guys all think that Russell Brand is guilty, right? Does anyone think that he's perhaps maybe not guilty, or maybe some of the accusations, or what do you think? That's possible. That's possible, Lanny, about the hypnosis. Some people speculate maybe he was a handler. He was kind of like seen as he was a handler for Katy Perry. Could be. We love Kata. Oh, Kata, we love you. Yeah, I hope you get well soon, Kara. And I've been bad not doing these live streams more frequently. Yeah, that's a good question, Lenny. That's what I'm thinking because it's he just came out of nowhere. Right, 2006, he was already doing these sellout shows as stand up, and it was like I don't really remember him until like 2006, 2007 time. And he's doing that Big Brother's Big Mouth show, and you don't have to be a huge star to do that show. I mean, my cousin actually hosted that show for a very short period of time. Now, this is back down later years when Big Brother's ratings went the ratings had gone down. He's like a showbiz type of guy that interviews celebrities. It'll be in on the Mail, sorry, the Sun website. He's not known as really famous though, but he did a bit of presenting though. But I don't know. I never really thought that much of him, and he has that thing though that girls that can appeal to girls, kind of like the beard, the long hair. I don't know. I never got that though, but yeah, call me Walter, Cara. Call me anything you like. I never really saw what exactly wanted him getting those film roles though. Like I never even thought he was that talent. Well, certainly I never really thought he was a very talented actor. I mean, could he do comedy? Like I suppose a bit, maybe more of a presenter. He was better at presenting, but yeah, it's all you always have to be kind of multifaceted though these days, right? If you're in film, you're probably expected to sing and dance, and it's just suppose just how it is, right? GBUs, people on there saying it has to be a police investigation. Oh yeah, absolutely. There's got to be a police investigation. You can't just let it slide, right? Well, I mean that's the thing, Kat. I don't think Russell Brand will ever go down as one of the funniest comedians of all time, right? He's no uh, Billy Conway or Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy. The early days, huh. Remake of Arthur, and it flopped massively. I think he was done after that. Found out. Yeah, it's like when Ricky Gervais tries to do films, or fucking who else? James Corden. It just doesn't work. They're not actors, you know. Was it that film that he was in with P Diddy? Was it Get Him to the Greek or something? I never saw it, but it's just Hugh Edwards. That's trending. I suppose the one thing is though, everybody's got their own take on this. I know. I think I did see a little bit of Penny Bunny's live stream earlier, and I think from the vibe that I'm getting is that from what she's saying that she doesn't believe these accusations to be true. All Also, I don't think Paz believes they're true as well. But I don't just cherry pick with these things. I will look into this, and I do. I've said before, I believe where there's smoke, there's fire. But I have kind of looked into this stuff with all of them. I didn't overlook Philip Schofield. I didn't overlook Hugh Edwards. Didn't overlook Dan Wooten, and I'm not overlooking this stuff with Russell Brand either. Doesn't matter where they are and the side, with the political left or right or whatever center. It doesn't matter to me. But one of these things, Lanny, though, I mean, I'm sure but he's obviously been very careful over the years, though, Russell Brand. He probably would be that guy who'd be like, oh, I'll wait till it's legal age 16. I'm not going to take a risk underage. Well, that's where he is different from R. Kelly. I mean, it might have been similar things that R. Kelly did about coaching the girls on how to answer what questions their parents had, but you know, he's a bit more careful than R. Kelly overall. I believe Russell has done these things, and the powers that be have dragged it up to destroy him. Yeah, I mean, they have their own agenda. Probably the people that are coming out with this documentary, right? Yeah, because Russell Brand's going to be trying to expose these things when it comes to the pharmaceutical companies and the pandemic, that's going to piss a lot of people off. But I don't know. It might not destroy him though. He might survive this. You know, for some reason, I don't think it's going to destroy him. Right? There's probably some people that thought all these allegations with Dan Wooten that was going to destroy Dan Wooten, right? But he's still on TV. He's still doing GBUs. Yeah, speaking of Dan Wooten, let me see if anyone was saying about him. Dan Wooten actually reposted the video that Russell Brand had about warning that there's going to be allegations coming out. Funnily enough, Peter Jukes of the Byline Times, that they were doing that stuff on Dan Wooten, he said he doesn't think this is about politics of Russell Brand. 10 years ago, Russell Brand was on the left, and so was Dan Wooten. The only globalist agenda here is men accused of abuse, blaming globalists rather than confronting their own problems. Yeah. No, I agree with him. I totally agree with him on that one. Shut him up, maybe. Yeah. I don't know if it would destroy him, Scandal. Yeah. Maybe for him to keep quiet, though, watch doesn't go too far, doesn't go too far off script. Because, yeah, I think Alex Jones was putting his 2 cents in. Alex Jones, who was it, has been sued for about $1 billion now, right? So stuff about Paul Joseph Watson that came out as well. I see his name about Paul Joseph Watson, the guy that was on Alex Jones. There's been allegations about him as well, or hi Shaniqua, thanks for joining. Always you was a creep. I don't know. He just had a certain charm to him where even if he pushed people's personal boundaries, Shaniqua, he could always just find a way to get away with it. And different times, different cultural times of what was acceptable, unacceptable. There wasn't the quote unquote cancel culture that we've got today from around, 2006, 2010 time. Because and it was like when he did that interview with Jimmy Savile on BBC Radio, it was a different time because that was like 2006, 2007, just pre-Twitter. So there was a lot of more things you could get away with back then. What's been said about Paul Joseph Watson, though? How's he coming up? I am no prude, but his jokes was always sexual, and he would push the limits too much. Yeah, I mean, there was that one, wasn't there, Shaniqua? What was it? The one about the making the joke about like, thing about the blowjob and woman mascara running down her face, and then that was what the woman said, that he had made a comment like that on one of the women that had accused him. He'd forced her, you know, um, for giving oral sex, and then he had made this comment about, "I just want to see your mascara run down your face," and And it was amazing, he's making these jokes and he's just like, "Oh, I just want to see the mascara run around their face, run down her face." Everybody's laughing, and he just goes, "Good." You know, he always just got away with it, right? But yeah, that's what you said. I only wanted your mascara to run. Yeah, truthfully, let's face it. The guy's kind of a bit of a clown, but he's a very smart clown, though. He's found a way to always get away with it. A lot of the time when you hear him talk, he uses all these super big words that I think he just memorizes from the dictionary, thinking he's smart. I don't know when he does this, he uses these big ass words. Is he just trying to is he taking the piss, or is he just trying to convince himself and others that he's smarter than he actually is? I don't know, but yeah. I'm ashamed to say that for a little while, a short period of time, I was fooled, and I did think he was all right, but nah. Oh yeah, that was cringe, wasn't it? The trues, yeah, yeah. That's bringing back some memories there. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I do think he's probably has generally changed for the better. We can't obviously overlook all this stuff though, the allegations, but I think as time's gone on, he has matured and he's become a better man. And he's a wife, two kids now. That would change someone, change their outlook and perspective on things. Definitely, though, it's unforgivable. And Michael Jackson's lawyer, bloody hell. So sexual assault allegations against Paul Joseph Watson as well. That's what I'm reading something about this. I don't know. It's well, you're young and impressionable, no doubt. It takes time. Takes yeah. I mean, my whole thing is Maureen people. I give people a chance. I think you got to have faith in people. Yeah, I think yeah, 40. He's 48 now. Yeah, yeah. Just different times when you think about it. Like that whole thing that he did with Jonathan Ross. I mean, phoning up the guy when they were live on radio. Andrew Sachs left a voicemail saying he had effed his granddaughter. Just imagine what if the guy had answered the phone. What would he actually said to him? I mean, gee, just crazy to think the stuff that. Well, okay, they were punished, but it wasn't like they were totally cancelled. Their careers were over. But my old school friend who was with a guy who was 24 when she was 16, we didn't think any of it back then compared to now how things have changed. Well, this is the thing, and a few people, I think someone that was on here, was it maybe Lenny asked me this question before or someone else? Do we have to be talking now and asking, should the age of consent go up? Should it be going up from 16 to 18? Um, or what, 16 to 17? If you're able to start driving, take driving lessons when you're 17, should maybe age of consent the same in fairness be 17 as well? Or People are saying that police are investigating Paul Joseph Watson following rape allegations made by multiple women. Wow, I've never heard. I hadn't heard about this before. This was from 2 months ago as well. Gee, yeah, he's someone I've got not got time for anymore. I don't watch him or follow him. He's one of those that was pally with Andrew Tate as well. God, it makes me sick anytime I see that Lucy Letby her face. It's like, gee. Jamie. I don't know, Jamie. You might have said something that YouTube didn't like. I didn't see it. Paul Joseph Watson's a shell. Yeah, I don't doubt that. Lucy's awful. Proof anyone, regardless how they can look. Yeah, absolutely, 100% Shaniqua. Yeah, so many people are fooled. I think there's isn't it like that line in a Stevie Wonder song about being fooled by smiling faces, and yeah, absolutely, he's a shell, Jamie. Yeah, I know. He makes a lot of money off of this whole anti-establishment thing. He's a capitalist through and through. I know he's supposed to be very like kind of Marxist communist type, but he's making a lot of money. Sky News last night followed the brand's top story with a thing about lads mags. Yeah, was that something about Note Page Free that a campaign he was behind a few years back? Because there was a Rianne Sugden was talking. She had dated him, Page Free girl, former Page Free girl, and she was saying that he just got behind the campaign, drag his way through the list of models. You know, Ross was just as bad. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Jonathan Ross. I'll tell you something, Maureen. I used to watch the Jonathan Ross show on BBC, and I did actually find that quite entertaining. But then as soon as he made the switch over to ITV, I never watched the show. I've never ever watched the show. But at one point, in fairness, it was all right and it was kind of funny when he was on BBC. He's no Michael Parkinson though, eh? But well, it's weird how things are in America. In America, though, Maureen, like you're not supposed to drink alcohol until you're 21, but you're not allowed to. But obviously, everybody will do it, right? Everybody will go to the college and campus on college campuses will drink alcohol. Yeah, I suppose there's the dark web, isn't there, Shaniqua, and all the sorts of dark shit that you'll get in with porn websites and what have you. And well, that's the thing, is it, Lanny? He never got dropped from the movie, right? For getting Sarah Marshall, he just got a slap on the wrist. They stopped him doing the radio show. But he was doing multiple things. He had multiple ways he was making money. But yeah, very odd, Maureen. And you know what was very odd is with one of those allegations, one of the women was saying that even though Russell Brand was teetotal, in his flat in London, he had like a fridge that was stacked full of alcohol. That was a bit odd. Juliocast, good evening. God, I feel it's been a while since you've been last on, mate. How are you? What do I think about old Russ? Well, I feel that he's culpable. I do feel that he's guilty. I feel that with these allegations, it's either it's all true or almost all that's true. I'm just going to say it right off the bat. Um, is there a particular agenda that with this coming out, this document in Channel Four, is a particular agenda there against Russell Brand? Yeah, there could be with what the stuff he's saying about being critical with the stuff with the pandemic, critical of the drug, with the pharmaceutical companies. Um, but I don't feel that these people that were on the documentary, obviously it was actors, the voices were distorted. You couldn't see their actual what they look like. But I do feel that they were telling the truth though. Dur, dur, dur. Yeah, one of the rags, Juliocast morning. Always good to have the regulars on. Well, everybody's obviously welcome though. They had this on him for years. They dropped this nuke on him in 2023. Yeah, well, it is. I suppose, like you said before, Lenny, it is kind of like chess. Um, you know, right, Joey Cass. How do you think the interview went? Are you confident you could get the job, or so it says now that BBC and is it the police also? They're all launching a probe into the Russell Brand rape, sex, assault scandal. And apparently, celebrity friends are starting to distance themselves from Russell Brand. Has received support from some public figures likes of Elon Musk, Andrew Tate, Lawrence Fox. He's been dropped by a charity working to end violence against women in light of the accusations. Whoa. Yeah, Shaniqua, I did see the comments that Danny Minogue said. Yes, yes. That sums it up. She had an idea, right? Yeah, said that he would always cross the line, but it was never enough that you could give him a slap on the face. Yeah, I saw those comments. Well, yeah, that's the thing, Joey Cass. Why now? I mean, they might have been sitting on this for a while, but they said, what is it? They'd been doing the investigation for about a year now, Channel 4. I don't know if it's actually an interview, maybe, like it'll just be an excerpt, it wouldn't be like a video or an audio. Unlucky though, Joey Cass. We had it pretty good with the weather here as well. It was like, well, I think it was the warmest. It was like 26 degrees Celsius. So that guy Dom Jolly, he used to be was at that Trigger Happy TV. The amount of people defending Russell Brand, slagging off the woman involved and believing that this is all Russell Brand is some threat to the Matrix. Deeply depressing. That sounds very nice. VIP visits officers. Wow. We no longer have the warm weather. It's back to the usual cold here in Scotland and Bonnie. The horoscopes, yeah. Russell, he was called Russell Grant Lano. I think his name was Russell Grant. Why? Did you think he was? Did he have allegations against him as well, or? I believe it was it already repeated on Channel 4, the dispatches. I think they said they were going to repeat it earlier tonight, the program. Maybe on Tuesday, I think, as well. It's one to check out, though, if you guys haven't seen it. So there's this Daily Mail article here. Guy Adams. Why was self-confessed narcissist Russell Brand ever lauded by the left? Liberal media feted the comedian as a political messiah and set him on his path, becoming a conspiracy peddling crank. So I believe it was around August 2013. This is maybe when he started to change his kind of a persona from like the large in life guy, the big hair womanizer, to being the more like political type. So I believe he's very pally with Alec Baldwin. He's very close with Noel Gallagher as well. I didn't really watch Penny Bunny for that long, Duocast, just a minute or two. Um, I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm that big of a fan, to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to go on that show again and call in or whatever. And nah, not my thing. So I think there was a change in moment, wasn't there, when he was on Paxman, the Usenet show. What gives you a right to edit a political magazine when you don't even vote? Brand said he was politely asked by an attractive woman. That sounds like something he would say, all right. He gained plaudits in the left-leaning Twitter sphere for dubbing co-panelist Nigel Farage, Pound Shop Enoch Powell on Question Time. Yeah, I remember that. I've seen that a couple of times, that video clip. I do remember when you went in Penny Bunny, Joey Cass. Yeah, you and that guy that's like the it was like was he he's like is he half Asian racist guy? Well, the National Housing Party guy, right? Hi, Dylan. Hi. Yeah, I heard about that story, Dylan. I came across that. Yeah, yes. There was some other weird thing he did the very early days. He like pissed himself in public. He pissed his pants and then he was chasing after that guy. He was such a weirdo. Very odd, yeah. Yeah, I know he's got a couple of tattoos. People say quite odd. 33 is one. He has, but then some people might say, well, 33. A lot of people they take numerology seriously. 33 is the master number. That's the number it represents spiritual growth, material growth, what have you. And he had said that the allegations were being circulated as part of a coordinated attack by mainstream media outlets to silence him. He's always going to use that defense, isn't he? And there's also a story here. Russell Brand had sex with a Filipino prostitute when he was only 16, while his father slept with two hookers in the same hotel room. Charming, like we all want to know that. Yeah, Katy Perry, Shaniqua, I know. Yeah, he's punching above his weight with Katy Perry, right? Julia Cass outsmarted them all, though, on Penny Money's channel, Maureen. I see you, Cara. Night. Hope you get better soon, dear. I hate that defense. Every time some man is accused of something, it's always been he has a setup because of this and can never be as simple as the man. Yeah, it's very true. And it's very hypocritical as well because they're supposed to be championing, they want to champion masculinity. Men take responsibility for their actions and they never take responsibility for all their actions because then when these allegations come out, they just blame the mainstream media or the Matrix. The Matrix has got all this crap. So there's even stuff here about sexual assault allegations. Paul Joseph Watson. One young woman claimed she was also drugged by the former InfoWars star. So this stuff had come out a couple of months ago. I only heard about it now, though. I did not know about these allegations. He's another odd one, Paul Joseph Watson. Paul Joseph Watson slammed for anti-Semitism. He was caught on audio calling for Jews to be wiped off the face of the earth. He's pally with Andrew Tate. He's also pally with Candace Owens as well. No, I haven't seen any films that Russell Brand's in. I wouldn't want to. There must be a reason that he got away from that Hollywood world, though, and doing movies. And it must have been something where he was maybe blackballed by many people in the industry. They didn't want to work with him. They knew about the stories and stuff and the allegations. he pissed off a lot of people. His behaviors and inappropriate antics that people didn't want to work with him. And yeah, so he really had to change up his ways in the end, right? No, I don't like Andrew Tate either, though, Julia Cass. No. Yeah, you're new to the chat, Shaniqua. Did you just come across my channel earlier tonight, or have you been watching it for a while? Obviously, everybody's welcome though. Usually, you have my few regulars, and then other new people can come in and wonder what who's up to nowadays, Geocast. Are you asking about Russell Brand or? Oh, Andrew Tate. I mean, there's all the accusations about him right now, but he still has that war room subscriber thing that he has that people pay £40 a month to find out how they become, I guess rich guys and they can get out of the matrix and all that crap. But God, Matt Hancock, what a cock, right? Matt Hancock was paid 45 grand for the Celebrity SAS show. Gee whiz. At least it wasn't as much as he got paid for the other one, though. What was it? 400 grand they paid. He got paid 400K. He got paid for doing the I'm a Celebrity. Yeah, I know. I hate that guy with a passion as well. I really do. This stuff with Paul Joseph Watson, though, God, this was like a couple of months ago. I hadn't heard about it though, but a website called VoteWatch.com. Hmm. Okay, guys, I'm gonna wrap up this live stream just in a minute or so. But any last comments, any last questions, and anything, just fire it away now. Okay, guys, I'm just going to wrap this one up. It was good to do this. I think it had been a few days since I last done. God, it was 5 or 6 days ago, my last one. So it was good to see y'all. Thanks for everybody that was joined in the chat. So I might be back tomorrow. I might continue on giving my thoughts on this and see what you guys think about all this stuff with Russell Brand. If not tomorrow, probably do one Tuesday. Yeah, but I'll maybe give you a heads up though when I'm about to go on live if it's tomorrow or Tuesday. But thanks very much, guys. Thanks for everybody to join and contributed. And yes, I should be back with another live stream very shortly. So thanks, guys. Night. Bye.